Hey guys, if you watched my last two videos on core training for pole dancers, then you'll know all about anti-extension core training and anti-rotational core training. And today I want to talk about the third kind of core training that we need to do for pole, and that is anti-lateral flexion. So lateral flexion is basically this action of side bending. And remember that your core muscles are not just your abdominals, but also all of the other muscles that are responsible for bracing and keeping the spine upright. So all of your back muscles, as well as the glutes and the hip rotators as well. The main muscles that are involved in lateral flexion or anti-lateral flexion is your obliques, which is the muscle at the side, and also your QL muscle, which runs either side of the spine, and it connects your hip bone to your lowest rib, and it also connects to the vertebrae on the spine as well. So basically that is going to be used a lot in any lateral moves and also resisting lateral moves. Why is it important for pole dancers? Well, we use that a lot, especially in moves where we're trying to stay in a horizontal position with our side to the floor, so like an INX or a flag, or even if you think about any moves where you need to be in a straight position. So even if I show you like a tucked flag, you'll see what I mean. So from here, even if I'm just doing this little tuck variation, what's happening is gravity is wanting this, but I'm having to resist and keep that up straight. So what I'm resisting is this lateral flexion. So there's a few different ways to add it to your training. I always start with a side plank. It's the best way to train anti-lateral flexion. And I'll show you a couple of different options, and then I'll show you how to progress it as well. So basic side plank, elbow under the shoulder, legs extended. You're going to lift the hips off the floor, so you're aiming for a nice straight line all the way through the body. So make sure that your hips are not sagging in the middle, and lift the hand up. This is the hardest version with the feet stacked. If you want to make it a bit easier, you can take one foot out in front, which just gives you a little bit more of a stable base to work from. And if you want to make this easier still, then you can keep the bottom knee on the floor, bend that leg, extend the other leg, and do it here. What I would do is I would train side planks until you can do the full version. Start with 15 seconds, build up to 30 seconds, 40 seconds, a minute. When you can hold it for a minute, really perfect, then you've got really good endurance in your side plank. And then I would start to challenge it a little bit more by adding some different variations in there. And my favorite variation for pole dancers is just to lift one leg. So from here, full plank, I'm going to lift this leg up in the air. So as you can see already, I'm making like an INX shape. So it's very similar to how we do it in pole. So that is just adding some extra instability. There's also working the leg muscles that you need to be strong for your INX as well. Another really good anti-lateral flexion training to do in the gym is with a kettlebell. So if you've got a heavy, or you could do it with dumbbells as well, you need a heavy weight. And what you're going to do is hold it in one hand, keep your core nice and braced, so shoulders are backing down, but you want to make sure that you're not overarching the back, so ribs are flat, core's braced. And if you see from the front, I'm trying to keep my shoulders level, so what the weight is trying to do is tip me that way. So that's that lateral flexion movement that I'm trying to avoid by bracing my core in nice and tight, holding that position with my core, and then I'm going to make it dynamic by walking forwards, nice and slow, keep the core engaged. And you can do this for time, or you can do it for a number of steps. And the more experience that you get with it, and the better that you get at it, you can start to add more load to it as you're going on. So that's it. A few exercises for you to try. Hope you find it helpful. I'll put some more information in the blog, and let me know if you've got any questions.